Am I a schmuck for renting a goat? So I, 30 male, hate cutting grass. Hate it, hate it, hate it. The sound of the lawnmower makes me wish I could take my ears off like Mr. Potato Head and lock them in a box. It hurts my shoulder. I got injured in high school and it never healed right. And I might be the only person in the world who doesn't like the smell of cut grass and gasoline. This week was the very first week this year that I would need to cut the grass. We live in a fairly warm state and the HOA is very strict about it. We even have little flags in the front of the yard that the grass isn't allowed to get taller than. So the point is, the lawn needs to be mowed. I don't want to do it, my wife can't because the last time she mowed it, she tipped into a lake. Just so happens I know a guy who owns a goat. I offered him $20 to bring it over to eat the grass for me. The goat eats the grass, we keep her away from the neighbor's yard, a goat goes home, it was great, way better than mowing. Except now my wife is mad because some of the neighbors saw the goat and think it's hysterical that we have a goat doing yard work for us. She's pissed that I made us look like weird hicks in front of all her friends. I don't care if they think we're a little weird, I'm happy to be laughed at if it means saving myself from the headache of inducing the sound of a lawnmower. But now she's making weird comments around the house about getting a horse to carry groceries or a chicken to clean the windows, since there's no man in the house that can do it. I didn't expect her to react so negatively to a goat, but maybe I'm missing something. So, am I a schmuck? Am I a schmuck for telling my girlfriend that I told her so after one of her male friends tried to get with her? My girlfriend and I have been together for about a year now. My girlfriend has more than a few guy friends, and I'm not one of those guys that think men and women can't be friends. However, with two of these guys, it's very clear that they want more than just a friendship from her. Like clear as day, to the point where I don't get how she doesn't see it. If I can notice just by the weird energy they try to exude when I'm present, she should be able to feel it too, right? Wrong. Anytime I have pointed this out, she gets upset with me. She tells me that I'm being jealous and reading into things that aren't there. I argue back that I'm just letting her know, and as a guy, I can probably tell much better than she can since women tend to be a little slow regarding things like this. So 2 nights ago, she was hanging out with her friends and this guy was present. From what she told me, they were all drinking and he said some things that implied he'd want to be with her. She was made uncomfortable by this and the night ended shortly after. Fast forward to yesterday morning. She got a series of texts apologizing for what he said, and then backpedaling and saying he would treat her so much better than me and she's wasting her time with me. She of course said no and was upset with him. After she told me this, I just read the text and simply said, "Wow, who could have seen this coming?" a bit sarcastically. This set her off and she got mad. She said that I was being such a schmuck to her and she had no way of seeing this coming. She's been pissed at me since. Am I a schmuck? Am I a schmuck for taking away my son's access to games for deleting all my progress from my games? I, 34 female, have a very spoiled 13-year-old son that we will call Junior. In our home, we absolutely love gaming when we have the chance, so Junior has access to all of our game systems. He mostly plays the PS5, but will occasionally play the Switch. So a big rule I have for my Switch, he broke on his accident, is absolutely no Fortnite. He has it on every system he can get on, but I don't want it on mine, nor do I have the space. I, currently at home, have a very needy newborn who won't nap unless I'm holding him. This is after 5 months of bed rest while pregnant. As you can imagine, I've been getting a lot of time to play on the Switch, but when Junior asked to use it to play a game, I gave it up. Upon getting it back this morning, I went to play one of my games, Stardew, to find half my games have been uninstalled and Fortnite on it. I was aggravated, but whatever. I was stressed and just wanted to relax, so I deleted it and its data. When I launched my game, all my progress was gone. I checked my other games to find the same. Long story short, I had a stern talk with Junior and grounded him from all the systems. As you can imagine, he was furious, he yelled, went to his room and slammed his door. All of which woke the baby. Next thing I knew, I got a call from my mom saying games are meant for kids and I needed to get over it and give her grandbaby his games back. I told her absolutely not and went and grounded Junior from his phone as well. My mom is blowing up my phone and threatening to come save her grandbaby since I can't grow up and parent properly. Am I a schmuck? Am I a schmuck for exposing my future brother-in-law's shady past to my family? I'm 37 female and I come from a close-knit family. I have 2 younger siblings, 28 male and 27 female, and my sister got engaged to future brother-in-law, 23 male, after dating him for around a year. We all got to know him well and I've always gotten along with him. He comes from a rough background, but he's always been very polite and charming. He doesn't talk about his own family or about his upbringing. My sister said it was a painful topic for him, so no one ever pushed. There was recently a family event which future brother-in-law attended. He was quiet during this day. He is normally high energy and sociable. Then he disappeared for a while. When I went outside for some fresh air, I bumped into him. He was emotional and said it was a hard day for him due to negative associations. He ended up offloading some quite shocking things from his past, including that he has a history of very serious drug use, including needles, and that he's done S work and P work, men and women. I felt for him at the time because he was so upset, literally crying on my shoulder, but afterwards I felt more and more uncomfortable. I still feel bad for him since he clearly regrets it, but it's very shocking to find out that he has that kind of history, and it does make me feel differently about him. Obviously, I told my husband what future brother-in-law told me because I didn't feel comfortable keeping it to myself. I told my sister because I didn't know how honest he had been with her and it could impact her decision to marry him. She was angry and said she was fully aware and it doesn't make her think less of him. I know others might disagree, but I decided if my sister and future brother-in-law weren't going to bring it up, then it was my responsibility to make sure my family had the information they needed to make an informed choice about what kind of relationship they have with him. My parents agreed that it was the right thing to do and were grateful. My brother said he could see my point but didn't think it was my responsibility to share that information. My brother's wife thought I was out of line. When my sister found out I told our family about future brother-in-law's sketchy past, she was very angry. She is now refusing to speak to me altogether because apparently this has affected future brother-in-law quite badly. They are no longer engaged because he thinks he's not good enough for her and no one in my family has seen him since all of this happened. Obviously that wasn't my intention and no one said he isn't good enough. I think it's naive to pretend that you see someone exactly the same way after finding out they're an addict. Whether you like it or not, there are risks that come with that lifestyle and relapses are common. I'm concerned that my sister will get hurt and I don't think it's unreasonable for my family to have access to the same information I do, especially when they're inviting him to their homes and there are children around. Am I a schmuck for informing my family about future brother-in-law's background? Am I a schmuck for buying lower grade steaks when my in-laws visit and serving my mom and dad Wagyu? My wife and I live far away from both of our sets of parents. We visit them a couple times a year and they visit us about the same. My mom and dad love food. They will buy pounds of garlic and leave it in a rice maker for a month to make it black garlic. They plan their vacations around amazing restaurants. My in-laws are lovely people, but boiling chicken drumsticks is a fancy for them, and they refuse to eat steak that isn't well done. I discovered this first time when I went to their home for dinner. I wasn't even asked how I like my steak. Everyone got a well done steak. It took me years to convince my wife to try a medium rare steak. Now she loves them. I bought some beautiful prime steak for them when they came over when we moved in together. I made theirs medium well and I died a little inside. Her dad took it back to the grill and destroyed them. So now I buy select grade meat. I've been buying some excellent quality Wagyu for when my parents visit, not every single time, maybe once a year. My wife says I'm being a schmuck by not treating both families the same. I don't think I should waste money on great food for them when I know how they will treat it. I think there will be some mixed opinions on this, but I'm going to say not a schmuck because mainly I am also a food type person. And Wagyu is just one of those things you do not ever do well done. Because if you go well done on any steak, there's basically no difference between them at that point because they're all hockey pucks. If you want to hear more Am I a Schmuck stories, make sure to like and subscribe and to turn on the notification bell. Have a good day.